Who's that couple all marching? You should cut down on your pork lines, mate. Get some.
Fucking launches it the other way.
Have a great weekend.
So 2-0 defeat today against Nuneaton. Probably not too happy, one with the result and two with the performance, but what are your thoughts on that game?
It's a tough one. I think first of all, I always do that and give credit to Nuneaton. They've not started the season very well, but they did a real good job on us. We'd planned all week. Planned all week. We didn't train really Monday. We trained Thursday based on the shape that Nuneaton would play, so there was no surprises. A couple of surprises in terms of personnel because they had a couple of injuries, which I think made them a bit weaker because Matt Stenson wasn't playing, who's their leading scorer. But the bottom line is, we spoke in the dressing room about where we've come from, so the progression's been huge over the course of 2 or 3 years, and even this season. We found ourselves fourth in the table. We knew that if we won the game today, the prize would have been top 2, The boys knew that, and the reality is we didn't. We weren't good enough on the day, but in saying that, we weren't. Look, Nuneaton were better than us, and they deserved that. I thought first half we were really poor. 2 real bad individual errors. I don't know whether that was the pressure of the opportunity to go into the top 2. I don't know. We spoke about complacency, that don't be fooled by Nuneaton's poor run, or that actually their run isn't bad, but they're down there in terms of league position. So don't be fooled. The biggest thing is, and we had it on the board, was that in football, and I've been in it a long time, football has this unique habit of biting you on the backside. When you feel that you're getting there, and just to bring you back down to earth, and that's what happened today. They were better than us all over the park, and we were really poor. We chose today to have probably our worst performance probably of the season, that and maybe Stamford early on. So it's really disappointed. Disappointed with individuals that have been really good for us. They were nullified by Nuneaton, but we just didn't perform.
And then a slight positive, looking at the bench today, obviously JJ was back. Aram came on again after his previous injury. Just looking for a squad update in terms of that.
Yeah, obviously JJ's self-inflicted injury, he's been out for a long time. He was doing really well up until the injury. He's trained for probably about the last 10 days, and he's getting back to where we would like him. I think the next stage for JJ will be to go out and get some game time, because he's been out for so long. Jamie Melbourne has had an ankle injury. He had an injection a week ago. He was due to play today at a Step 5 club, dual reg, but he was still a little bit sore, so we're hoping to get him some game time Tuesday, and then he'll come back in, because obviously we've got Finn Owl that's been on loan, but that's coming to the end now, and Solihull won't let him play in the trophy, and him as well. Finn's been dogged with injuries since he's been here, so yeah, from in terms of the squad update, they're the 2 ones that are out there that are, we need to get back into the squad, but they need to play some games. We've got a thin squad as it is, but it's about doing it at the right pace and making sure that we don't put anybody back and bring people back too early, and then that puts them back out. And we've got to manage a few little niggles and manage like Callum Flanagan, because we've got 3 games in a real close proximity now over the next 10 days.
So just to touch on that, you mentioned 3 games all close to each other.
Yeah.
Just looking at the first one, not much of a rest. Their game was called off today, and we go to a team that's unbeaten in their league campaign. Provides an opportunity to obviously put a statement back out there and get back on it. That was only our 3rd loss of the league campaign so far. So what are you expecting from that Mikolova game?
Look, Mikolova, fantastic. Really good manager. Started the season really well. I went and watched them Tuesday night at Bromsgrove, where in fact I don't think they were great. Bromsgrove probably should have won that game. I think for us, when you've done so well and expectations rise, I think people have to, I heard a couple of grumblings from supporters today, and I don't get it, because we were 4th in the table, and people are having a go. Look where we were 3 years ago when we were bottom of the league and lost 27 on the bounce, and you look at how we've progressed. We have no defined right to beat Nuneaton. Nuneaton, the reality is they've probably got 3 or 4 times our budget, and you look at the players that they've got, it's ridiculous, and we're a number of points above them. So I think people need to understand and to be just to have a bit of a reality check that we're doing really well. We had a blip today. I'm expecting Mikolova to be a real tough game, but at the same time, if you're a player, the great thing about playing football is that when you do face a bit of adversity and you lose a game of football, then that next game is not far away, and ours is Tuesday. And look, in an ideal world, we would be playing bottom of the leagues at home, and it would be, not saying that would be comfortable, but it'd be a lot easier than going to Mickleover, who've won, 11 out or 12 out of their 13 games, and it'll be a real tough. But then, as a player, there's no better opportunity than to go to Mickleover and get a positive result on the back of a poor performance today. And we were really poor, and I'm disappointed with the boys, but they've done brilliant for us. And I think that's what people have to understand, is that those boys have been outstanding for us, and I'm sure they'll certainly be wanting to put a wrong right, and by going to Mickleover and getting a positive result, they would be able to do that. And we also understand that it'd be a really tough task, as will the games coming after, but we're just going to focus on Tuesday and take one game at a time.